Have there been any changes with immigration and how they're placing ICE holds on people in jails? Listen today on Immigration Wednesdays to find out. Hi, I'm attorney Jeff Peak, and last week on February 18th, ICE published a memo about new priority enforcement rules that they're going to start being implementing. And it's a pretty big change and shift in policy from the previous 4 years of the Trump administration. And to put it on paper, it's pretty dramatic to see how different it's going to be. Basically what they're saying now is if you have not been convicted of an aggravated felony before, and you've been in the United States before November 1st, 2020, and they encounter you in the jail, whether you were arrested for a ticket or something more serious, they will now consider you not as a priority enforcement. Meaning what exactly? Well, it means they may not place a detainer on you, depending on your previous criminal history. It also means if they do place a detainer, they may release it if you post bond. It could mean they want to talk to you first after you get out of jail and interview you to determine a little bit more about your history before they release you or give you an immigration bond. So all three of those options are radically different than what we've seen in the last 4 years. Basically, beforehand, nobody was getting released, nobody's getting out on an immigration bond, and certainly nobody was escaping an ICE detainer. These are huge changes in policy shifts. So what does that mean for the immigrant community? That means now, when you get arrested, you have different strategy decisions that you had just 2 weeks ago. And you need to talk to somebody who knows both worlds, because you can't assume the old rules apply and the new rules are just now getting implemented. Here at Peak & Tolan, we handle dozens, I'm talking dozens of detention calls every week, helping people make these hard decisions. Do we get out? Do we post bond? Do we stay in jail? Do we move them with immigration? Will they get a bond? And those questions are not easily answered unless you've seen hundreds of these kind of cases come through. And it's through experience that we know these things. You cannot learn these things except through experience, because every case is different. And when they apply these guidelines, they're looking at all sorts of factors. People's family, do they have petitions filed? Have they been removed before? How long have they been here? Do they have any health conditions? There's so many things that they will look at that if your attorney does not experience in that field, they may not know the right information to get to ICE to share with them to be able to achieve a release of your detainer or have you released on a bond. So super important. It's great news for the immigrant community. And I talk to people every day who come to me with family members in jail, and we have good news for them that, hey, we think we can get them out. And you don't want to be one of the ones who doesn't know and is not taking advantage of these new changes because you just aren't familiar with the law. That's why we're here. We're here to educate you. We're here to share this information with you so that you can make good decisions, the best decisions for your family members, okay? Give us a call if you have anybody detained, even if it's a second or third opinion. You're not going to offend me if you hired somebody else, but make sure, because sometimes people who are not up to date on all the changes in the law, which changes constantly and sometimes dramatically, can make bad strategy decisions for you, okay? That's our job here at Peak & Tolan, is to study the law, make sure we are on top of every single change, both in immigration and criminal law, so that when these things happen to your family members or friends, we are here to help you the best we can. Hope you have a great week, and we'll keep bringing you great content in the weeks to come. Thanks.